All right, so it's time for my quick lentil soup. I made this recently and shared it at work because I had made a huge batch and it's so simple to make and everybody liked it. So even Abby ended up taking it home. First, we got a big pot here. I'm gonna start sauteing up your classic mirepoix of onions. I got an onion here, a small one or a half a one, whatever you got lying around. And then I got one large carrot and 2 celery ribs. Needs a little more oil here from the stock market. We want this to start cooking down here. I'm gonna do the rest of my onion here too. I love this soup because it is vegetarian, it's dairy-free. You can add protein into it if you want to, but the lentils just make it super high in fiber and protein. It fills you up, it's satiating. You don't feel like you're eating healthy, but it's just one of those soups that's light enough to make any time of the year, but really good in the winter time or the fall because it's, you know, comfort food, but light enough where you can have it at any point. So we got my onion, carrot, celery going in. Let's let that cook down for a moment. I just threw an onion in my salt, which is fine because I need a little salt anyway. Ooh, those onions are strong. I got the tears today. Ooh. Do not zoom in on that, Levi. It ain't cute. All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and get 2 more ingredients going here. We're gonna do a zucchini, which I love. You see me add a lot of zucchini to a lot of my recipes because my kids eat it. Last night I made a big pot of chicken noodle soup because I had some leftover chicken and threw in some yellow and green zucchini, and my kids, what is the yellow thing? And I said, it's zucchini. And they went, oh, okay. Gobbled it up. I try and keep my vegetables along the same sizes, and I tend to go small when I make soup. I tend to like bite-sized, like small pieces that all meld together really well, especially because lentils are small. I'm not really a big chunky soup person. All right, so I got my zucchini kind of on the side here because it is not as hard to cook. It doesn't take as long as what's going on in the pot, so I give them a head start. Give them a good stir. Get those onions in my eyes. All right, let's do this side as well. And then I got some garlic too, and if this is one of those recipes that you only have the garlic, you can absolutely use the garlic. All right. On deck, I got a little vegetable broth here, and while I'm chopping this up, I want you to go ahead and zoom in on my shortcut here. My shortcut right there are canned lentils. Now, a bag of lentils, so inexpensive and so easy to find. Bags of lentils are some of the cheapest things you can buy and have in the pantry. I've often made it with that. But if I'm looking to make a quick dinner, I'll spend the extra $1.50 and just grab a can or 2 of canned lentils, which work fantastic. But if you only have dried lentils, when you add in the broth, add in the lentils, it'll all cook together. It'll just take longer, so no big deal. All right, zucchini is in. I'm gonna start chopping up my garlic, but while I do that, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste in here. And my tomato paste, you know I love, love, love when the tomato paste is in a little squeeze jar like this. It just makes your life so much easier to not have to open and have a bunch of little cans everywhere. So I'm gonna try and not make Sarah mad and squeeze from the top. I do that with toothpaste too. It drives my husband to drink. So I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons. I just kind of eyeball it. That looks about right. That's gonna give a really beautiful deep flavor to this soup. And give that kind of a stir around and let that cook down with that mirepoix for a minute. Let's get our garlic. I need a few cloves of garlic here. I got a whole head. I take that head, I turn it upside down, put it on the board, hand on top, and just rock back and forth, and they will start popping off for me here. I'll do that one, that one, that one. We'll do 4. And that one. Give another stir. I really love this tool that we get from Season to Taste, this little silicone tool. Just put your garlic cloves in there. Give it a good roll, and they pop out without the skin on them. It helps. These are one of those tools. I'm not a big tool person, but this is one of those tools I feel works really well. And then I'm just gonna give that a little chop up, and the soup is almost done. I'm telling you, this is just the easiest soup. It comes together so fast, and it's so good for meal prep. It's one of those soups that just gets better as it sits, like most soups, and it tends to thicken up, so by the end of the week, when you're pulling it out of the fridge, it's more like a lentil casserole. So you can either eat it when it's really rich like that, or you can just add a little more broth to it, but those lentils soak everything up. All right, garlic going in. Don't waste any of that. I even have my garlic earrings in today. We're not wasting any garlic today. All right, now that this is all in, let's go ahead and add in, and that tomato paste is cooked down a little bit. Let's add in our lentils. Now I have 2 cans of lentils that I rinsed and drained going in. I'm gonna go ahead and add in about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. And then 3 cups, if you want to keep this vegetarian, go ahead and use a vegetarian broth. You can also use chicken broth, whatever you got. And then I'm going to do 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes. That's going to add a little depth of flavor, a little smokiness. So, and I don't drain these. I want that juice in there. That juice holds a lot of flavor. I put the whole thing in. That's it. Now, all I'm going to do is bring this up to a boil and let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes till all the flavors simmer together. And at the very end, I'm gonna stir in some chopped spinach. It's so easy. It's a soup that literally came together in a couple minutes. So I hope you make this